What is happening? Welcome to my channel. My name is Matt Bradford. Today I want to talk about a couple of different boost pedals. So look, I'm going to do a lot of talking. If you don't want to hear the background of this stuff or why or blah, blah, this stuff, we're going to start doing the comparisons here. And there's chapter markers down below. So first things first, gear that we're going to use to demonstrate this today. I'm using an original Apocalypse Machine lap steel. It's got a Fralin Noiseless P90 and a Righteous Sound Bluebird in the neck. And I'm going into my DCC Darkos Custom Creations Plexi. It's an 18 watt Plexi using special tubes. I'm going to do a whole video on cool old weird tubes. I'm going through, I don't know if it's in the shot, 2 notes Torpedo, Captor X into Logic with a little bit of verb and delay from Logic. Clean tone, sounds like this. Right? If I hit it pretty hard, it starts to break up a little bit. So that's where we're at. We're using this. Okay, so let me always, every time I get discombobulated, check it out. It's not a shootout. I don't believe in shootouts. This is for me, for my purposes, what I want to use, and I think it's important to understand, it's going to sound different with different amps. Even the, here's just the different IRs I can use. Okay, so every different aspect matters. Different pickups, different guitars, whatever. Same player, and I think that so just to clarify that I don't believe in shootouts. Every little piece of the puzzle changes things. That being said, I do believe in comparisons, and here's what's happened: is I had a full-size Bad Bob booster, and I had it on my pedal board. And then I changed out a pedal on the pedal board, and I had to go to a smaller pedal. So I went to a mini booster, which ended up being the EP Booster. It wasn't doing it for me. And so I ordered another small Bad Bob. And I got the mini version. I don't usually like mini pedals. I wear big dumb shoes, and I got big dumb feet. And so a lot of times, the mini pedals can be tricky. But it was the only thing that fit, and so I'm gonna deal with it. So that being said, I sat down and I compared them, and it really blew me away. I mean, they're such different pedals, and they're both just clean boosts or dirty boosts or whatever, and they're super different. And so I figured I would shoot this video. They're both great. They both have their own place and stuff. So. EP Booster. EP Booster is based on the old Maestro EP3 Extra Echoplex, I think. I've heard people describe it before as like, oh yeah, it's a completely clean flat boost, and I don't think of it that way. It certainly has a little bit of a mid hump or a low hump for me, and it's a pretty clean boost. It has up to 20 dB gain, and it sounds like this. So here's our clean, right, and then just get that going. And that's a great sounding boost pedal. But again, it adds a lot of low end, and the way I was using it and the way I put it at the end, I put my boost at the end of all my gain stages. So I'll do a whole video on this, but fuzz is first, compressor, and then an overdrive, and then the boost. And so I want the boost to push me over the top for solos and stuff like that. I don't necessarily want more low end, I'll tell you that, and I don't mind a bit more dirt, personally. So I went to the Bad Bob. Now the Bad Bob, I'm an Analogman fanboy. Let me just start there. I have a lot of Analogman pedals. This is the Bad Bob, the way it's not the way I said it, but this is the way We're starting at noon on both pedals. Noon-ish. And the Bob... I really love that top end, and it doesn't add as much low end, so check it out. I guess we're comparing right away, so, you know, whatever. Here, we're going to have more nerd stuff in a second. But here's the EP again, obviously. They're both great. They're so different. It's like, what a cool thing to be able to have both and to have different flavors. But I think the EP Boost, especially in a solo context, sounds a little bit like sweeter and obviously cleaner. And the Bad Bob is a little more. It's got a little more edge to it, and it's a little dirtier. The Bad Bob. Let me give you a little bit of history on the Bad Bob. It's a really cool. So I always think of the Bad Bob as an Analogman pedal, but it was originally designed by this other guy, Robbie Wallace. That is not what I wanted. Let's see. Okay. I had to cut that. I wasn't prepared. Now I'm back. I'm ready. The EP3 is based on the EP Booster is based on the old EP3. The Bad Bob was built by a guy, originally designed and built by a guy named Robbie Wallace. I know words. I'm stammering. I don't know why. The first Bad Bob was built for his friend who wanted a full-tone fat boost circuit. He researched the circuit and realized it was based off of the Jack Orman AMZ mini booster. So he used that as the base of the circuit and started to fine-tune the circuit. He did a lot of experimenting with various JFETs and different parameters for the JFETs until he found a consistent sound that he liked, and that was the heart of the consistent bass tone of the Bad Bob. He built them from 2003 to 2010. And he was hand-building everything. He did about 600. Analogman was the primary vendor. He sold most of them. And it became too much for him to do, so he turned all of it over to Mike, Analog Mike Pierre. And he's been doing it ever since. So, and he's added like a second knob that like he and Robbie like worked on together on the full size version, so you can get more dirt and stuff. But it's really cool because, first of all, Xotic's a great company, but Analogman, it's like a small company. The guy who designed the pedal is reaching out and we're talking. Mike obviously is. If you call, you can get him on the phone. You can ask him questions, and the commitment to quality pedals and handmade, hand-sourced juju is what it's all about. So, I'm a big fan of what Mike does in general. I'm a big fan of this circuit in particular. It's really cool that it was another guy's circuit, Robbie Wallace, and then he turned production over to Mike at a certain point. So, we have our clean tone. We have our clean tone. We have our EP Booster. We have our Bad Bob. But who cares about using them at a reasonable volume? I like to push them a little bit. I like to play into a more pushed amp, and we're going to do that in a second too. But let's start with this. 3 o'clock on the knob. This is normally how my Bob is set. It can really push me over the top, especially in like a group setting. Time for a solo. All my tones are happy. Everything's rocking, and it's like, let's go, Bob. So check it out. This is again nothing. Okay, EP Booster at 3 o'clock. That's pretty cool. They're obviously so different. So everybody's gonna have their own flavor. I have mine. The Bob is gonna be what's going on my board. But I'll be honest, you know, this is not how I normally set my amp. My amp is a little dirtier than this usually. So what I'm gonna do is first take a drink of water, and then I'm gonna jump the channels. And so what does that mean? What that means is I'm gonna combine. I'll show you. I'm gonna use a cable here, and I'm gonna jump the channels. I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna jump the channels. I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna do this again, but with a dirty amp. So hitting the front end of a dirty amp, which is my personal favorite way to do this. There we go. And we are back. Yeah, so now the channels are jumped, right? There's this little jumper here. It's the 2 channels. This is traditionally how I would set my Plexi. It's not clean. That's what I like for a pedal platform. I want something that's gonna have some character. I understand that's not what a pedal platform means. That's the whole point. I like this. It'll clean up if I roll the volume back. But now, what happens is this. When I step on, let's make sure we're recording. We did this once without recording. That was cool. When I step on one of the boosts, I don't get as much of a volume increase. But what I do get is more gain, right? So because it's already distorting, what that's doing is compressing the signal. Distortion is the signal has maxed out. So now, when I step on the Bad Bob, awesome. They're both awesome. So you can see that like it's a whole different ball game now, because from here to here, the volume doesn't change that much. Although in a band setting at volume, that would certainly push me in front of the band. Oh, words. That all being said, so with that, but there's less shape there to me, and you know, again, for me, the Bob is the one. But they're both great options. I use the EP Booster a lot. In a if I have let's say I have a tremolo pedal that drops the volume and doesn't have an output trim that I like, I'll use the EP instead as an output trim. And if they're on a loop like this, you can have both pedals turn on at once. It's no big deal. So one last thing. This is not the way I would use a pedal, one of these pedals rather. But let's just see what they do with the volume knob. So here's the Bob. Pretty cool. Just take some of the hair off of it, but it's still got that high end. It still retains that kind of thing. It acts as a great buffer. Let's see about the EP. does the same thing. It kind of takes some of the garbage out of like the low end a little bit. It takes some of the juice off of it, but still feels and sounds pretty great. So let me just leave you with this. They're both great options. That's not what I want to do. Let me wrap it up this way. If you like what you hear, if you want to support this channel, I do have a Patreon page. It's the link is in the description. It's $5 a month, right? If you want to support me, it's $5 a month. It does have backing tracks. Backing tracks every week, 4 to 7 times a week. They are solo length backing tracks, so you can't just noodle over them forever. You actually have to kind of build a solo. They move. They have movement, so you can build something that moves, and the energy does stuff. And at least for me, mindless noodling often doesn't get me where I want to go. But having to sort of like start to build a solo that has a start and an end and all that ends up being really helpful. So thanks for hanging. Please like and subscribe and do all the stuff that everybody says. And I hope you enjoyed it.